I'm just doing what everyone else does, nothing fancy. All right, we'll get it done. Boom! That's what we're doing now. So I'm in the process of making a template for the passenger side roof filler. Obviously just a regular small thin piece of paper, a couple magnets, a dirty hand. I am going to clean up some of these lines underneath. So that's what I need. So I'll clean up some of the welds. A little jagged coming down the edges. I'll clean all this stuff up here. And I'll get this little spot right here grinded down. I don't know if there's two separate pieces. I'm not sure how Brad did it. I have an oiler in this line for my air tools. And for some reason, the other night it just started over oiling everything. So I just grabbed a shirt and wrapped it around the end of the tools as I'm using them, because it's just spraying oil everywhere and I don't really know why. So yeah. So if you were wondering, that's why I'm doing that. I'm sure you were. So this is my basic template. Hello.
Did Brandon call you?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And I was just leaving to go get my motor at Hutch, so I told him I'll just come down tomorrow. And he said that worked better for him anyways. He was wide open tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, he won't be wide open. Never.
No, I know, but he said he'll have time to get the battery charged. He's got a 32 frame, a front axle. He's got tons of stuff in front of the car, so he would give him some extra time to get all that stuff moved and get the battery charged.
Sounds good.
Sure, man. What are you doing, yoga?
I was walking. Fucking out of breath. Oh, God.
That's funny. Yeah, man.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, broski. I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Smell you later.
All right, later, bro.
Yeah.
Bye. So, my eBay account got hacked when I was in Carlisle. Friday, I get notifications that items that I purchased were paid for through my PayPal, which was my credit card. So, the entire afternoon Friday, when I wanted to be walking around buying stuff, I was on the phone with customer service at PayPal, and then had to call the credit card company, and then called eBay, which was fun. And a majority of my 7-hour drive home consisted on being on hold, trying to get that situation resolved. So someone in Texas hacked my account and ordered 2 PlayStation 4s and some $250-something pair of headphones. They got the headphones, but from what I understand through eBay and PayPal, is they did not get the PlayStations because I caught it in time. But unfortunately, the scumbags who hacked my account got the headphones. And I just got a notification on my phone right now that they were delivered to me in Texas, which I don't live in Texas and I don't play PlayStation. So it kind of sucks. So that was the last portion of my day in Carlisle. Because other people were spending my money for me. So anyways, I got my template all cut out of paper. I got it held on with magnets. I'll end it here at this edge. I'll bend this where it needs to be bent and weld it all in so it'll match the other side. So that's that. That's it for me for today. After work, I'm going in for dinner, and then I gotta go work at my girlfriend's house. See you the next time. This is my next step, is to get this filler panel done. So I'm going to work on this now. I'm going to clean up this piece of metal that I used to repair the door top with. I'm going to finish cleaning it up and use this for the metal for the repair panel. You can see I went a little wider than I needed to. I'll trim it down with my hand shears. Shears. Gloves. Miserable rainy day here up in Massachusetts. It's Tuesday, day after Columbus Day. 2 consecutive days in the garage, which doesn't really seem to happen all that often. There we have it. So that'll overlap a little bit. And this should sit right down in there. Bend that as I go. I'm going to do this the same way I did the filler on the door. Just weld it and bend it as I go. This has to be cleaned up somewhere here on the roof. I got a little bit of weld that I have to remove. But for the most part, I think it's pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to make a mark where I need to cut it out a little bit. I think I'm good. The rest of it, I just got to cut that back a little bit. And trying to remove the weld is basically all I'm trying to do. Plates I think I'm really going to have an issue is down here, right here. So I'm going to go grab my drill with that carbide bit, that deburring bit, and try to clean this area up. So let's do that now. Whoop, whoop. Yep. All right, I got this all deburred, cleaned up. All these edges going down the edges. I'm gonna leave this panel in here. This panel's fully welded, both sides, top to bottom. The filler underneath is welded underneath also, not entirely, not completely, but I think it's pretty safe to leave this under here. I mean, after seeing the metal that was underneath this filler panel after 35 years, it was still shiny metal. I think it's safe to say that this tiny little filler under here will be just fine. And it's just a lot more work to cut this out. What I did on the other one was I actually cut it out, left about 1/4 of an inch on either side. And truthfully, as I was doing it, while I'm looking at it, I didn't really think I was gaining all that much, besides just more work. So I'm gonna leave this side. If this side rots out faster than that side before I die, then shame on me. But I think it's gonna be just fine. So let's get to welding. Getting a good grime for some reason.
I drank an energy drink and now I feel sick.
An energy drink while you're working?
Well, I was hoping it would help me focus better.
Just to get through your day, huh?
Yeah, now it just makes my head hurt.
Yeah. It's because it's shit. It's not good for you.
Dice.
Huh?
Look at your dirty dice.
Those are in the coop.
They're dirty.
Yeah, it's just from hanging on the garage wall, you know?
They're dirty
Like my butt?
yeah.
Like my butt last night?
Yeah, your stinky butthole. Oh my god, it was so bad.
No, it wasn't.
No, I literally rolled over and the blanket moved and I was like, ugh. So gross. And then you denied.
How do you know it wasn't you when you were sleeping?
I wasn't sleeping, I was watching my show.
Oh.
And then I rolled to move the blanket to snuggle closer to you and I was like, oh. And then I was like, ew, Michael, that's gross. Farted. And you were like, no, I didn't. Yeah, you definitely did. I was like, smell it. And I put the blanket over your head. You don't remember that?
Nothing.
I just went down the stairs.
What?
I bought stuff to make tacos
When is that happening?
tonight.
Like now?
Oh, wow, you're hungry?
Huh.
You're not, like when you decide to come in and take a shower, because I always cook a nice dinner, and then you're like, put the
After I
shower.
poop. I'm a working man. What can I say, you know?
You like my outfit today?
Oh, get out of here. The world doesn't want to see your butt.
Want to see my butt? You want to see my butt?
I do. I think today is day 4. I could be wrong, but I think today's day 4. They all kind of blend together after a while. So I'm just taking my little die grinder here. I have the top of the body, or whatever this is, above the deck lid, around the tops of the quarters taped off. I got 3 layers of masking tape on here. Figured it was better than nothing. It's all I had. I'm sure duct tape would have worked better, but I didn't have any. So just going around and I'm cleaning up the remainder of this paint, and anything that I see a little bit here. Trying to keep it low pressure so it doesn't get too out of control, too crazy. Just manageable. Unlike that. Start working on inside the windshield channel, both sides. You can see where Brad chopped it, and just unfortunately the metal just rusted over time. So we're gonna clean this area up. I just started cleaning this up a little bit. We're gonna clean the rest of that up. And I think what I'm gonna do on the 2 doors are just blend in, try to sand this and blend it in. I can leave this here it's going to be probably pretty much impossible for me to duplicate that or replicate that. So I'm going to leave the tops of the doors untouched, and like I said, try to do my best at sanding this down, blending it in on both sides where the door comes down, where the window comes down. Next is I'm going to remove the deck lid and put that up on the stand and get that sanded down. I got a little bit more work here welding wise to do, but for the most part everything's good to a point where it's smooth enough and it's clean enough that I can just put filler on it. This little patch here that Brad did wasn't the greatest either, but I'm pretty sure I can get away with that with a little bit of filler. This was last night's project. The driver's side I did a couple nights ago. This side came out better than the driver's side, but that's typically how it goes. One side always comes out a little bit better. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side as the driver's side. Gonna blend in the back and the rear edge. I'm gonna leave the top of this here the way it is. Again, I think it'll be hard for me to replicate that. I'm getting close to being ready to start spraying some paint. Hoping in a couple of days I'll be able to put some paint on this thing, or at least some sealer. It is Thursday, day number 4, I think, of working on the coupe roof. I've got the whole roof cleaned up, the whole roof sanded down, all the heavy welds that were on the roof are all cleaned up, ground down. I got the weld where I had to do the filler panel, that's all set, ready to go. Take you for a walk. See some rusty dust on here. Quarter windows are both cleaned up. We've got all the metal from the belt line up, completely stripped. I'm gonna sand this by hand, sand this by hand, same as on the driver's door. Roof filler patches in. I've got to wipe down all inside these doors, inside the door jambs. I've got to try to get this thing as clean as I can possibly get it so I can put masking tape on it, so I can start the final sanding around some of the edges and get this bare metal and sealer. I'm at the point where the car is basically ready for a sealer. I'll do all my body work on top of the sealer and then reseal it with more epoxy, with another coat of epoxy, and then do my finish paint over that. And I've said multiple times, I'm not really gonna go too crazy on this car. I'm going to do a quick paint job of the turquoise. I'm gonna lay down a couple coats of turquoise. And then I'm gonna do, I hate to use the word patina because I'm really not trying to create a fake paint job. I'm just trying to match what's existing. So I guess if you want to call it a patina paint job, you can. But like I said, I'm really just trying to preserve the car for what it is and match what's already there. I wouldn't have to do this if the roof didn't get chopped, but it did, which is fine with me. I think the car looks killer just the way it is. Brad did an awesome job on the chop. I certainly have zero complaints in regards to the work he did. He was an extremely talented guy. He built some incredible cars over the years and still owns a lot of them, and they're amazing. I can't even begin to list the ones that he has, and everything's got some wild motor in it, whether it's a big overhead valve Cadillac or a Y block or an Oldsmobile, and they all have 4 or 6. I don't think he owns a vehicle with less than 4 carburetors on it. Whatever was the hot thing back in the day, in the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s, Brad did it. Brad's basically done it all at this point. So I love what he did with the chop. I love how he did it. I spoke with Brad a few times about the car, and he was never really in love with this car. This was just a car that he picked up back in the day. He never spent a considerable amount of time working on it. Like, he would start a project and start something on it and then stop and then tuck it back in the corner. And then he'd pull it back out again, work on it a little bit more, tuck it back away. So he never continuously worked on the car. Again, he had so many other cars that he was not only working on but driving. He never really took the time to finish this one. I'm very fortunate that I do have the time. I'm learning. I don't want to say I have all the knowledge because I certainly don't, but I'm learning as I go. Doing my 1930 coupe just recently, within the past year, I learned a lot through the help of my good friend Joe, who did a lot of work with me on that coupe to get it to the point where it needed to be. It really helped me with the paint process and all the steps to take, and was certainly a big influence and a huge help. So I'm taking what I learned from Joe, I'm taking that and carrying it over to the 34. So after all that's said and done, I still do have some paint work that's going to need to be done on the car. I still am going to have to put in a firewall, which I have. However, I can't do that till the motor and transmission are in. I had already planned on doing that, to be honest with you, but I kind of got sidetracked on this because it was here. It was something that I could just jump right into. Essentially cost me nothing to strip the paint. And like I said, I already have all the material and the epoxy, the sealer, everything to get the thing in paint without purchasing anything, minus the paint, which I've already done also. So I'm basically ready to go. I'm going to give it a wipe down, work on some finish sanding in these areas here, and then I'm going to start masking this thing off. See if I can get this in. Boom! Nailed it. I think I'll put my respirator on now. Oh, it's in my truck. You can see when they sprayed the car, probably had the door open just a little bit like this. And you can see in here, it was overspray. It was overspray in here. But you can also see the old gold, the tannish gray color also, which is underneath the black. This could have been done by Brad. I mean, it may have been done by Brad, but this turquoise is over the black. So I believe it was definitely either primed in black before it got painted the turquoise, or it was painted black at one point in time. I really don't know. But regardless, I may end up painting inside these jams turquoise, down here turquoise. I planned on maybe taking the frame and bringing it back a little bit into the late 50s and doing a turquoise frame, which essentially means the front frame horns, the front cross member, and what you see here. You don't see anything in the back. That would kind of bring it back a little bit to the late 50s, early 60s, which is all in that era, before the big horsepower motors came in and things were more about speed than look. But I like that show car look, and I'd really like to give this the appearance of what could have been an older show car from the early 60s. Doing all the ins and outs. I ended up cutting this. I'm gonna re-weld this. This didn't really line up all that well, and I wanted it to line up a little better, so I ended up cutting, not all the way back because there was no need to go all the way back. It was cut about 2/3 of the way through. Tapped it with a hammer and lined it up. So this lines up now, and I'll clean up the old weld and then weld it. So I'm working on masking all the openings up. Got the deck lid opening masked up to where I want it to be. Actually, I don't even know why I just masked this off. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just wasted my time there. I'll mask off the hole where the filler's going. What do you guys think? Do you think I should fill this hole where the windshield wiper was, or should I leave the hole there and maybe see if I can get like a rubber plug or something to fill it? Not really sure what I want to do. The car had a windshield wiper on it. Why don't you guys leave some comments in the comment section? Tell me what you think I should do. Do you think I should leave the hole for the windshield wiper and add a windshield wiper, or just plug it with a rubber plug for now and then maybe add a windshield wiper in the future, or weld it up shut? I'm not going to do anything with that yet. I can always add metal to that afterwards. I can always fill it afterwards if I need to, or if I decide to. So I'm going to work on filling the top next, and then I'll go around the other two sides. My GoPro's just about to die, so if it dies, I'm just going to finish the process just because I'm in the garage and I have the time to do it. I need to update my GoPro game. I just haven't done that yet. So I'm going to keep on going.